So, concerning stuff about this new route into places like Portsmouth, obviously that's going to be one to watch out for, not least because of the nationality of the people coming there, Albanian, looking to work with those criminal gangs and criminal organisations. But our friends in the European Union have decided they're not going to help us out with returns agreements as well, haven't they? Some people will say, look, why should they? You know, we were in there, then we decided to leave. Why would they cooperate with us now at all? But other people would say, well, this is a Europe-wide issue and we should work as a continent in order to tackle it.
Yes, absolutely. It seems to me that the European Union is it's just not looking at the wider picture. As you say, it is a Europe-wide crisis of people trying to get into Europe through irregular routes. And we have to work together with the Europeans to solve this. If you solve, say, the Mediterranean migrant crisis, you also solve the English Channel migrant crisis. They seem to be willing to make deals with countries like Turkey and Tunisia to try and stop things at that end, but they're very unwilling to actually reduce the incentive for people to come. So I think they need to really just look at what's going on and actually listen to their member states as well. I mean, if you look at the governments of Europe, it's like they're falling over one by one. The old liberal centrist governments are being replaced by more right-wing governments who are willing to take a lot harder measures. And eventually you imagine the EU itself will catch up with that and will then be able to start implementing effective policies.
Yeah, I spoke to an individual the other day on one of my shows. He said to me that if Europe does indeed go right-wing, really, if it does end up falling to people who believe in border control, then bizarrely a case for rejoining the European Union might be around tighter border control, as opposed to, of course, one of the reasons why we left. Apparently French President Emmanuel Macron, who's getting a lot of stick at the moment, especially after the latest migrant deaths in the Channel, just told us to renegotiate with the European Union, palming it off there. But then Ursula von der Leyen and co basically said that they had no plans to draw up a returns agreement. And again, I suppose, look, why would they? I imagine they'll be quite happy to wave people off, really. But do you think that they are maybe letting politics get in the way of actual practical solutions?
It certainly seems that way. I mean, it's all very petty. I think really what they want is they want to see the Rwanda plan, for instance, succeed. They want Britain to take all the flak for if it doesn't. And then if it does work, they'll probably set up their own route with other countries. And then that's when we'll actually start making some progress. But until they start actually actively engaging and trying to solve the problem and reduce the inflows rather than just putting up, walls, then nothing's going to really happen.
No, indeed. And are you concerned about the potential number of Albanians coming through that new irregular route that we've seen there into Portsmouth via Spain in the backs of lorries? The thing that stood out for me, Jeremy, was £14,000 a head minimum. Now, I get from what Mark White was saying, which is that a lot of the people smuggling gangs might be paying for some of these people, then they're in their debt and they work there. But we already know the amounts of money that a lot of people are paying just across the Channel, for example. And I don't know about you, but I think most people in Britain don't have 14 grand in their savings, do they?
No, and I don't think many of these migrants have £40,000. There'll be some at the very top who are actually trying to get in for quite dangerous reasons, I imagine, in terms of the criminal underworld. But most of them, I think, are just trying to get in so that they can work in the black market, maybe in cannabis farms, that sort of thing. And essentially, they'll be in a form of indentured servitude to these traffickers until they pay off their debt. And then eventually, maybe they'll be free. But I don't think it really works out that way. I don't think there's really a light at the end of the tunnel. Once you're in with these criminal gangs, I think you're probably in there for life. Yeah,
no, exactly. No doubt we'll see them all gloating about the amount of money that they're taking on TikTok at some point soon from all of the drugs that we'll be washing Britain's streets with. But thank you very much, Jeremy Hutton there from Migration Watch UK.